Do you feel the pulse?
GNT, right back at it one more time. Look, we have a fantastic episode ahead. Look, I cannot wait for y'all to actually get a chance to see and meet this young man that's our special guest today. So without any other delay, let's get into it. GNT, right back at it. Hey, let's get right into this episode because we have a lot to talk about, and we have a special guest that we have to introduce. But before all that, let me go ahead and introduce the panel as usual. Brr, gang in the building.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining the GNT Sportstalk. You already know. Let's get it, baby.
Tone the promoter.
Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? Tony Promoter here, man. Thank y'all for tapping into another episode of GNT Sports Talk. Like I said, we got a good one, special guest, man. Enough of me talking and yapping. Let's get it.
I'm going to put the camera back on me real quick because it's time for me to go ahead and just say some stuff about this young man on the docket for the day. We don't just have just a phenomenal talent in our hands. We have the 13-time national champion. The number one, my man won an international gold medal. He's rated number one in the world. The one and only Salim the Surgeon Bay.
How we doing?
Man, look, we are excited for you to be on the episode today. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys as well.
Man, look.
Likewise.
Joel, this is like your category, bro.
I love it. You already know I'm tapped into the boxing community. Not as much as I would love to because I got some bills and I got to go to work. But if I had the privilege to be in a boxing gym, just envying him right now while he just got, he was just on the heavy bag and you hearing that background noise that you naturally get in the boxing, in that boxing gym, man, it's just a phenomenal atmosphere if you're into that like myself. But, just like I said before we hopped on, thank you so much for hopping on the show, Salim. We greatly appreciate your time. And, we respect the fact that, you're taking out the time off your busy schedule because you are extremely busy and you're locked in and you're focused. So let's just get right into it. Me and the panel got a few questions. My personal questions, because I already heard the stories and I know you want to go into it probably a little bit as to the reason why you actually went to the boxing and became a boxer. Because I got a follow-up question because I know how you're going to answer this because I did my homework.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I've told it many times, I'll tell it again. I started boxing at the age about 5.5. I was about 5.5. And my father was teaching me how to box strictly for self-defense. So I wasn't too interested in the sport or anything like that. But I would do it when I had to do, like, I would do my due diligence. So I was on the step out front of my house, do my boxing drills, practice with my dad, do pad work, and do footwork drills and just simple stuff. But I was never interested in going to the gym. He never forced me to. You understand what I'm saying? So being as though they never forced me to go to the gym, I was around 8 years old, about 3 years in boxing. I had a bike. He had got me a brand new bike, Mongoose, Blue John. Nice bike. I'm talking about spokes, front and back, all fours, you know what I'm saying? Metallic John. I'm like, man, this is a nice bike. Like, that was my bike. So I'm riding up and down the block like I always do. And my dad would always tell me, like, he was like, yo, never put your bike down. Don't put your bike down. You need to go to the store, put your bike in the house, walk to the store, come back, get the bike, right? So one day, me being a kid, I thought I was going to be quick enough. I put the bike down, go inside the store. And I remember exactly what I was going to the store for, man. I was going in there for a bag of Hers honey barbecue chips. Real specific. And if y'all from Philly, I know you're familiar with or just any type of poppy store, any type of deli, it's different sections for different brands of chips. So I go in my store, the first section right here is hers, right? So I go inside, I'm looking for my hers barbecue chips. I look in the hers section, they ain't got my barbecue chips. So I'm like, oh damn, man. Like I walk out the store, turn around, I walk outside, I look down, my bike ain't there. I'm like, where my bike at? So I look up, I see this kid. And till this day, I remember what he had on. He had on some tan pants. He had like these khaki cargos. He had on this born red plaid shirt. Yeah, took my bike. So he riding up and down the block. No, he's riding up the block. And he had saw me start chasing him. I started chasing him. So he bent the corner. I bent the corner. And I started chasing him all the way up, but I couldn't catch him because the block was too long. So, man, I went back to the house and I was just, we had this little water bag outside and I was just wailing on it, like just like frustrated, infuriated. I couldn't do anything about my bike. I was just wailing on the bag, no type of form, just you know how little kids be. I'm just mad, right? All emotion. And my dad heard me hitting the bag, so because water bag rattle a lot. So he come outside, he like, yo, and he just looked there. He was like, what happened? And I'm like, man, somebody stole my bike. He didn't say nothing for a couple minutes. He just kept on letting me hit the bag. He was like, yo, if you're going to hit the bag, hit it right. So I'm sitting there. I tightened up. I got into my boxing stance. I started throwing 1-2s. That's all I pretty much knew. I'm throwing 1-2s, 1-2-3s, straight. Rel, can you shut that door for me, that door? So I'm throwing straight 1-2s, 1-2-3s, simple stuff, right? But I'm just frustrated. And he waited maybe like 3 to 5 minutes, and he sat there. He looked at me and said, he was like, yo, you want to go to the gym? And I was like, yeah. And by the time I got in the gym, I just fell in love with the atmosphere. Like, it was never the drive or the willingness to compete that, like drew me to boxing. I never cared to be a fighter. Probably not till like I was like 9, 10 years old. I didn't care to be like a good fighter. I just wanted to be around my friends, kids my age doing the same thing as me. That's what I enjoyed about being in the gym. Everybody just being together, regardless of age, race, anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what drew me to the sport, honestly.
Nah, man, that's phenomenal. And just to highlight a few things that you said there, I think is a phenomenal thing that a lot of the times parents want to like persuade their
Yeah,
children to like do a sport just because they did it or they think they want, they want that for you.
yeah,
And one of the things that you mentioned, it was definitely thorough that your dad didn't like force that on you. It kind of like
right.
just naturally developed, and
Yeah,
it just speaks to that wanting in a combat sport. You got to want to do it, like
yeah, you
what I
got
mean.
one.
You're going to get hit and all those type of things. So it's definitely a highlight there, and a shout out to your dad for that too, because a lot of people kind of like
For
want to
sure.
live through their kids and they end up forcing things on them that they think that is just better for them.
Right.
But yeah, thank you for answering the question too. I appreciate it.
You say it one more time?
No, I said thank you for answering the question too.
Yeah,
I
yeah, no
appreciate it.
problem.
So my question would be is because with that story, once again, I heard that story too.
Right.
And heard you tell it.
Yeah,
And one of the biggest things for me is that not every negative is a negative.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
definitely.
your story is definitely a story that tells us that you can turn any kind of negative into a positive if you
Yeah,
choose to do it that way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you being the young man that had your heart broken, because that was a heartbreaking moment that you went through.
man.
To
What?
the point that you remember all the details of everything. No, that's heartbreak, bro.
Man,
That's just that's tears. Yeah, I feel you.
man.
Now, my question to you would be, what advice would you give someone that that's going through a trial or tribulation or a situation that look on the surface like it's bad, but how can they turn that into a good?
Everything is a lesson. Everything in life is a lesson. It's a lesson in everything. No matter how bad it is, it could be, heartbreaking. It could be demoralizing, but it's a lesson in everything. And if you just find that lesson and focus on where you could grow from the situation, I feel like you could always develop yourself as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you look in the bad of everything and just stay in that negative state of mind, you're never gonna grow. You can't grow from something if you just think about it negatively. But if you look at the light in every situation, you can always grow.
Now, just in case, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
18.
That's wisdom coming from an 18-year-old. That means you've been through something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been through, you witnessed some stuff to know if you have that type of wisdom. And plus, Pops is doing the family. I say like this: your whole entire village has did what they had to do to go and support you, and I respect that totally. And you can hear it in your voice, you can hear it in your tone, you hear it in your words. Go ahead, Tom. What you got?
Oh man, yeah. So first off, again, man, I'm a thank you, you know what I mean, for joining the show, man, joining us, on the
Pleasure.
night, taking out your time, because one of the cool things about tonight having you on the show, and us highlighting it is what it is that you do, and that's boxing. We
Right.
caught you right in the dungeon, like you right where it's at, like
Yeah.
so, you know what I mean, like it's so cool, man, that we actually, what I'm saying, got you while you in the lab, what I mean, sharpening up your tools and what I mean, staying just on your grind and the thing that you want to do. And the reason why we got you on the show is because it's
Right.
the sport of boxing. Something that's like you gave us a story on, why you how you got into the sport and how you fell in love with it. And
Yes, sir.
sky's the limit for you, young man. So what I mean, I commend you on that, man. Salute you, like
I
I said,
appreciate that
for
flavor.
joining the show. So,
Yeah.
I had to dig a little deep and not even so much dig deep, but just, what I'm saying, get into the reason or the thought process of, your nickname, which is the surgeon. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I looked that word up, and it's a medical practitioner qualified to practice surgery. So just
Yes, sir.
explain the reason behind why you chose that nickname for yourself.
Well, I didn't choose a nickname for myself at all. Maybe around, I want to say the age of 10 or 11, my dad had chose a nickname for me. Being as though that I resemble the old fighter Frankie Randall. I don't know if you're familiar, but Frankie Randall, he went by the fight name of the Surgeon. And at the time, my dad felt as though that we had similarities within our boxing. So he gave me the name, and it kind of just, I always had the name. Like, I had the name since I was younger, ever since any probably knew who Salim Bey was. But it really, I started to come in and kind of like express myself within that fight name maybe like a year ago. That's when I really started to like internalize it. And you know, you know what? Yeah, I'm the surgeon. That's when I started like, pushing that name and just expressing it and glorifying that name.
Yeah, Joel.
He mute.
Muted.
Now, listen, I'm glad Tone brought that up because
Yeah.
specifically, like, even before I knew we had the opportunity to bring him on the show and all that stuff, I was already following this young man. And a lot of people that are in the boxing circle that I have constant conversations with and stuff like that, because
Right.
they're close friends to me, like, automatically brought your name up. Like, we just talking like, hey, who got a little buzz in the city, like,
Right.
whatever. And your name constantly comes up. So definitely specifically for that name. But one thing that, I want to ask you about, because it's like clear and obvious, and this is something that, and I watch a lot of fighters and I follow a lot of fighters and I try to like stay tapped in with, up and coming young fighters as well. And one of the things that I noticed that you just have like this switch, like soon as you go into a match, you have like this switch. And then, like that one of the last fights that I seen on one of your highlight reels that you posted up, it was something that you did that I think is going to be with you throughout your whole career, where you just, after you got your arm raised, you was just there, so I wanted to get behind that. Like, what was that specifically for?
Well, in that fight against Marcus Luther, um, the odds weren't in my favor. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a lot of people doubting me, a lot of people saying that I was gonna get knocked out, I was gonna lose, I wasn't strong enough, etc., etc. So that was pretty much me talking to everybody, just talking to the whole world, like, this is who I am. And I'm glad that y'all got to see this on the biggest stage, because let y'all say something again, and the same thing gonna happen every time.
Right. And see, that's exactly what I mean right there. Like, I just see something different in you. And I'm not saying this because you on the podcast today or anything, because we had another professional boxer and we talk highly about him as well. And, other people that I talk to.
Right.
But there's just something specifically different that everyone that I talk to actually sees it as well. And it to me is just that, like you have someone that always talking about boxing. You're like, hey, this person has power. They're a switch hitter. They can hit, with both hands. Something they got defense. Speed, whatever it is. But that one deciding factor that I think in any combat sport is having that dog, that Mamba mentality, as
Yeah,
your dad referred to, that you guys got Kobe Bryant rules in the household and stuff like
yeah.
that. And it's something that is glaring. Like anytime, like I see you perform and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, like he just has that switch or that dog mentality, like just that kind of thing. And that's where I wanted to get to because I know it was something that was along those personal lines. So thank you for
I mean,
answering
like,
that. Answering that.
honestly, I wouldn't really sit here and try to make it seem like it's rocket science because it's not.
Mhm.
The thing about me personally is that I put a lot of time and effort into this sport. I put hours and hours, day in and day out, into boxing, into perfecting my craft. So being as though that I put so much time and made so many sacrifices out of my youth and just out of my everyday life to get to where I am right now and to get to this level and to maintain where I'm at, I'll be damned if I go out without a fight. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care who I'm facing. I'd rather die than lose. And that's my mentality every time I step into a ring. Death before failure. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
like I said, I don't care how it looks. I don't care who I'm facing. I don't care I don't care what lengths I have to go to come out with my hand raised. But I'll go to any lengths. I'll go anywhere. We can go in the deepest of waters. I'm gonna come out with this win.
Never say die. Love that mentality. Because that's unfortunately that's the mentality that a lot of people in this world don't have. You know what I
Right.
mean? They rather quit before they
Yeah.
go ahead and go through any kind of adversity. But you welcome adversity because that makes you stronger.
Right.
And your story, going by the research that I went through and the videos that I've seen, the interviews that I've seen from you, that's a constant thing. So, with that being said, one of the sickest pictures I've seen of you, sir, is that one.
Yeah, that was earlier this year.
So, you just got finished talking about the sacrifices
Right.
and everything. So, have you gotten a chance to slow down just a little bit, once or twice ever, just to say like, "Yo, I did that. Like that's me. I did that."
Honestly, and I tell people this all the time. Every time I'm about to achieve something, I set a new goal for myself. So I'll break it down. Like I'll be going into a tournament, or I'll use Germany for example. Leading up to Germany, I'm talking about since I won in December. I had other tournaments in between, but my biggest goal was winning that international goal, because that's been the dream of mine since I was wee big. You know what I'm saying? I was yay high, 9 years old in the ring, and my biggest dream was be on Team USA, go win an international tournament. So, being as though I was in that position to do so, that was my biggest goal, just entirely throughout the whole situation. So I'm like, you know what? I want to win this international gold. That's what I'm focused on. But right before I went into a competition and I got to Germany and we was in the international camp and I seen what I was facing, I set a new goal for myself. I said, you know what? Because I see where I'm at compared to everybody. I see where I'm at on the international stage, and I know what I can do on this level. And I'm confident in myself to the point whereas I want to go to the Olympics and I want to win that gold medal. So my next step is going and winning in December, winning the national championships, and re-qualifying for the elite team. So before I even went in the ring in Germany, I'm like, I want to make the elite team. And I
Mm.
want to go in another tournament and another tournament and another tournament until 2027 comes. And I got qualified for the Olympics. That I want to qualify. That I want to go to the Olympics. And I just keep pushing myself harder and harder. So by the time I get into the ring or I accomplish anything big, I'm already focused on the next thing. I want to be 5 steps ahead of my competition at all times.
Fire. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool that obviously like you answered that question the way you did and ended with like what I mean how you analyze or look at your opponents. And
Right.
I know in boxing, man, that different boxers could have different styles. It could be just different. You face different stances and aggressions, or some could be brawlers, some could be just
Right.
punches and stuff like that. So how do you analyze an opponent's fighting style to develop a strategic plan?
Yeah. Can you say it one more time for me? It's a bit low.
I said, how do you analyze your opponent's fighting style to develop a strategic plan?
Ah man, that's you really have to watch for the little things. A lot of people when they watch boxing, they watch from an overall point of view. So they look at the fighter and they say he has a pretty good jab or he has a hard right hand. He can move pretty good. But those are basic analysis of a person. I want to look at your mistakes. What habits can you and can you not break? You know what I'm saying? If I know you can't stop something, I'm gonna attack that. If you keep dropping your left hand, I'm gonna attack that. If you can't take hard punches, I'm gonna attack that. I want to see the things that you can't stop within yourself. How far are you willing to go mentally? Can you deal with pressure? Do you have good feet? Those are things that I want to attack. I'm not worried about if you got a good jab, you got a hard right, you can move a little bit, got some good head movement. Cause if we're not on the same level mentally, you're not beating. Simple as that. I don't care how old you are. You could be a grown man. You could be a world champion. If you're not on my level mentally, you're not defeating me. Simple as it.
Solid, solid.
Yeah, Joel. I know we're going to have Mr. Bay here for just a little bit longer because we want to go ahead and relieve him so he can go ahead and get himself ready to go for the day. I'm sure he's been working all day. But go
Well,
ahead, Joel.
good.
Right. So, I mean, I'm gonna go off topic a little bit. So, I don't know if you got an opportunity to hear about the fight that was just made between Paul and Davis.
Yeah.
Apparently, he backed out of the Lamont Peterson rematch and decided to take that. So, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on, like the promotional style of Jake Paul and what he has brought to boxing, because I know a lot of people got different and mixed feelings because they look at him as a boxer and some people don't. So this is in the world of boxing where Javante Davis had an opportunity to take on a rematch on a controversial fight against Lamont Peterson, but decided to take this fight instead. So I just wanted to get your thoughts since it just dropped.
Yeah. So I think, and as a boxer, I'll speak on it from two perspectives. See, on the fans, from a fan's perspective, and from I wouldn't say but a boxing casual, somebody who always isn't on the inside of boxing, but understands the sport to be a fan, a good fan. Somebody like that would say that he should take the rematch with Lamont Roach. But what was the proposed number for this fight? 20 mil, 200 mil. This is big money.
Right.
And as a fighter, he still got a family to take care of. He's not going to be in the ring forever. He can't fight forever. You get what I'm saying? He has to make the best decision for himself. So it's like, what do you want to do? Do you please the fans or do you take care of yourself?
Right.
So a lot of people fail to understand that, at the end of the day, he's a fighter, but he's still a human being.
Hmm.
And people put that past us a lot of times. They say, oh, fight this guy. But is that a good situation for me? What's the best situation for Javante Davis right now? If
Right.
he's in a
Taking that
better
Jake
position
Paul fight.
fighting Jake Paul, if he's gonna make more money fighting Jake Paul, even though a lot of people don't respect Jake Paul, that's up to Tank because Tank
Right.
still has to take care of himself and his family. So I think as a fighter, he's making the right decision. From a fan's perspective, I can understand why you would be upset because he did have a controversial draw over Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think that the fight could have went either way. But as a fighter, he still has to take care of himself because he's a human being at the end of the day.
Right. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because I know a lot of people from the outside have
Yeah.
that like they talk about that. They talk about the things that Jake Paul
Yeah,
is doing. They talk about the things that Turkey's doing,
yeah,
and then you got your, the original guys that been around, Bob Arams, all those different promoters, and
right,
everyone's kind of like trying to bring a different style and a different promotional,
yeah,
from a promotional standpoint. But at the end of the day, that's one of the things where a lot of people do forget is
right,
like, hey, we talked about it in a few different episodes on this podcast with other people where these fights that are being made ain't necessarily like what the fans want to see, but
right,
just like take your young career. You just dedicated all, your adolescent years, all those years
everything,
into the perfecting your craft.
right,
And then, people forget that, hey, listen, like, one bad move or putting a fighter in danger, and then they get that loss, and is not marketable anymore. You know what I mean? So now you
right,
like get knocked down. You know how they say 2-3 steps back. It's like 10 steps back.
yeah,
From a boxing standpoint, because of the fact that then you don't have that nice record, so they try to like match you up with somebody else and stuff
yeah,
like that. But a lot of the times is for that reason that people don't understand. They're making the right move for not only the boxer, but there's a trainer, there's other people that's part of that camp that
right,
rely on that boxer, strength and conditioning coaches, different people that are involved. So it's not just the boxer. So you absolutely right. Is
yeah.
the not the
And
majority decision, but is definitely the
and the,
decision
the
that
thing about
was best for him.
Javante is that Javante has done so many things in the sport up to now. What else is there for him to really achieve? You get what I'm saying? I mean, like he could go chase, double undisputed and go up and weight, but that's chasing greatness, and he doesn't have that much time. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to make the best decision for yourself. He's done it all. He's been a world champion. He's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? It's a draw, but he still doesn't have a loss on his record. He's been a superstar. He's sold out arenas. He's been on the biggest of stages and pleased many fans many times over. So the one time that he doesn't please the fans, everybody wants to scold him, but he's making more money than he's ever made in his career.
Right,
So I say, as a man, as a human being, he's making the right decision. I think
right.
anybody who says or who talks down on Tink for making that decision will do the same thing.
Mhm. Absolutely. Now, I know for sure that you do more for the community
Yeah,
than what it may be announced all over the place when it comes to other people.
right,
I know what you do for the community, but I just want to open up another doorway right now for you to go ahead and talk about the nonprofit that you and your dad is a part of, and
right.
just highlight that for this time right now. I'll give you as long as you need when it
Yeah,
comes to time.
yeah. So my father and I, we work with our guy Nasir called Shawkey, and we have 17 with Life. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it's based around getting young men and women off the streets of Philadelphia and just preventing gun violence because it's a big problem in our city and in our communities. Gun violence is killing our young men of all different cultures. It's killing these young guys, and it's killing them mentally more than physically. You get what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
mean, like it's thousands of dead bodies, but mentally, these kids are rotten, and somebody has to pull them out. You get what I'm saying? So we're trying to create a safe space, a safe, informative environment where young men and women can develop themselves, not only mentally, but just do different things that get them active and just get them acclimated into professional standpoints and professional atmospheres. You know what I'm saying? So we have a golfing organization, we have a boxing program, and we just have different programs that are gonna help these young men and women get themselves off the street and get themselves active and just be involved with something positive rather than just being out in the street and being reckless on a day-to-day basis.
And that's commendable, and we think y'all we need more advocates like y'all
Yeah,
guys.
definitely.
Like it's one thing to strive to go ahead and be the best man and the best fighter that you can be, But to say like, hey, I'm striving to do that and pick up my community, that's something totally different. And that's something that we all need to definitely commend you for you being the young man that you are, to not want to leave no one behind, because you have an opportunity. You want everybody else to have the same type of opportunity. I mean, that's definitely something that we all need to salute y'all guys for. We thank you from a parent point of view, from a person that live in Philly. We want to thank you. Like for real, because we need more people like y'all guys to go and do that for our community. And trust me, we're going to get all their information, and we're going to be posting it like crazy on our Instagram and also on the description on YouTube as well. So don't worry, we'll have all that stuff all posted from Mr. Salim and Mr. Bay and everything that they do when it comes to the community. So let's look for that information later. We definitely got y'all there. Tone, you can go ahead and get ready to finish this off, man.
Yeah, man. So just commend you and appreciate you, man, for running that nonprofit organization for our city. And man, we know how the gun violence is across America, man, and all the inner cities, man. So, definitely salute y'all for that, man, because we definitely need things like that. Like I said, in the inner cities, man, because the way the gun violence is in America, man, and just around the hood, it's just like it's just not a good thing, man. We losing, like you said, young men to the streets. They have talent, whether it's in boxing, it's in
Yes, sir.
music, you know what I mean, sports, like all kinds of things, man. And it's definitely a lot different than when I was a younger, you know what I'm saying, when I was your age, you know what I mean, coming up. Violence was always there, man, but right now it just seems like it's at a height where I've never seen it before, man. So definitely great thing that you and your father and everybody who's involved with that is doing for the city of Philadelphia, man. Definitely need more like you, man, and I appreciate you for that. Um,
I appreciate
so
it.
but I'm gonna go back into the boxing, realm of it, because this is one thing I think people don't really think about when it comes to boxing, and that's your I can't even say it, nutritional part. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you just give us an outline of your nutritional strategic or strategies during your fight camp and its impact on the performance.
Well, honestly, and this is how I tell a lot of the people that I'm around to think about themselves as professional athletes, regardless of what sport you're in. You know what I'm saying? Think of your body as a car. You know what I'm saying? So you take a regular car on the street, Nissan, Toyota, Ford, you put regular gas in it, right? Unleaded. But you take a sports car, NASCAR. These cars are taking premium and super premium gas that regular cars don't use. Why would you put regular gas in a supercar? You understand what I'm saying? So, being as though that you're a professional athlete and you're gonna hold yourself to this standard that normal people don't hold themselves to, you can't do what normal people do. If you're working on a super normal, rate, if you're working at a super normal rate and at a absurd rate, you need to fuel your body appropriately to what you're doing. So if you're training 3, 4 times a day, you know what I'm saying, and you're going through recovery and you're doing this and you're doing that, you're running, even me, I run every day, train twice a day. These are things that you need to fuel your body appropriately to do, or else your body is just going to fail you because you have to treat your body like a temple. If you don't, you're going to fail your body and your body will fail you.
So before we go ahead and let you go, once again, we really do appreciate it. If anything, you don't get anything out of this, we appreciate your time and we appreciate what you and your dad is doing. If you don't get anything at all, you're going to get that.
Yes, sir.
So one of my last questions that I definitely have for you before we go ahead and let you go is that you're striving right now. You're going into the elite level, right? And now you already talked about 2027. Your goal now is to be the Olympics. Now, we had a good conversation, our crew, about how Embiid messed up his leg because he wanted to represent the United States and get that gold medal. What would it mean for you to represent this country and win that gold medal?
Man, and 2028 is the next Olympics. We haven't had a medal Olympic champion since Andre Ward in the U.S. So, first of all, it's making history. and that's even within the states because it's going to be in LA this year. Well, this go around. So,
Mhm.
it's history, it's historical, and that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. An Olympic medal is something that nobody can take away from you, no matter how long you live, and just even my family from generations on, nobody could take that away from my family name. Anybody in my family can look back and say, you know, my uncle was an Olympic medalist. My dad was you get what I'm saying? My brother
Mhm.
was an Olympic medalist. Nobody can take that away from anybody that I'm around or just me in general. So it's big for me. It's big for my family. It's big for my country, and it's historical. It's history. And it's something that I want to achieve. It's something that all the greats have achieved. So that's also a source of motivation for me. In this instance, all the greats have Olympic medals. Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, George Foreman, Meldrick Taylor, all these guys, they have Olympic medals. So it's just a level that I want to be at with the greats. It's going to solidify me into that talk because that's where I want to be at. I want to be legendary. People are going to talk about Muhammad Ali and Floyd and Purnell and all these cats for years on years to go, even after they pass away. And I want to be one of those guys. So the Olympics is just one step towards my goals.
You're gonna do it too.
Definitely.
You're gonna do it too.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Bird Gang, I know this whole conversation is close to your heart, so you can go ahead and close out this segment with Mr. Bay. Once again, I appreciate you, man. I totally appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
and I thank you for your time. You're definitely family of
Likewise.
ours. Trust me, we're gonna be rooting for you like crazy, bro. Like
Likewise.
crazy.
Absolutely. So
Thank
so
you.
real quick, one thing that we started doing last week on the podcast is
Okay.
we got a segment called Generating New Topics, right? That's what
Okay.
GNT stands for. So
Right.
this week's topic, and this is for the panel, and I just wanted to get your perspective before you cut out because it's something that you actually just talked about. You talked about the
Right.
greats, Muhammad Ali, Pernell Whitaker, all these fighters and stuff like that. So this week's topic on Generating New Topics is specifically asking the question, which iconic sports figure or actor, singer, whatever it may be, icon, if they passed away, that you will feel like, like a part of you or something like from an emotional standpoint, someone that you would be like, damn, like I follow this guy throughout his whole career or this female throughout her whole career. And when they pass, it's going to kind of hit home. So I don't know if you have an icon, in your eyes that if like one that comes near and dear to my heart is obviously Kobe Bryant because he was from Philly and all that stuff, and it was a tragedy,
Yeah.
but an iconic figure that will pass away.
Yeah. Well, honestly, and for me, it's really only one right answer. If Floyd Mayweather was to pass away tomorrow, God forbid, that would hit home for me. It would,
Mhm.
because I learned so much watching this film, and you know, he's like the platform. He's the standard in today's day and age within boxing. So if he was the person to go out tomorrow, it would really, I would just look up and just, damn man, Floyd gone. That's crazy.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of fighters that are out there putting out a good name for themselves, but if Floyd was to go out tomorrow, he was legendary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Tone, what you want to go on your June?
Um. So I'll piggyback off of like what you said as far as like legendary iconic person. When I heard about the Kobe situation, it was just like I just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? It was just something like, and then the way it
Yeah,
happened and who he was with, and you know what I mean. It was just like, damn, it was just so surreal. You know what I'm saying? To hear that happened. To somebody like him, and like I said, the circumstances that it was in. And I'll never forget the day, you know what I'm saying, or what I was doing and, what was happening at that moment, man. It was definitely, heartbreaking, man. But to answer the question though, and to, give an answer, man, obviously y'all know, man, I'm a I'm a funny, jokey kind of guy, man. I love to, laugh, man. A lot of stuff is funny that's not funny to other people. You know what I mean? But if my guy, man, Martin Lawrence passed away tomorrow, man, God forbid, like that would crush me, man, and it would crush me on a level because I grew up, what I'm saying, with him watching him on TV, and what I'm saying, like I said, I verbatimly can remember what happened to Kobe. I verbatimly can remember the first episode of Martin, and I was living in North Philly. People had the speakers hooked up. Remember the back in the day speakers you had at the cookouts, little tall joints. You know what I'm saying? Pop had that joint hooked up, the whole block could hear it. Like it was just, legendary, man. So for me, man, Martin Lawrence, because I love comedy. He's my favorite comedian. You know what I'm saying? So that would definitely, crush me if my guy Martin Lawrence passed away.
All right, I go ahead. I go ahead and make mine real quick. If something was to happen to Weapon X, Brian Dawkins, he's my all-time favorite Philadelphia Eagles, my all-time favorite football player. Right after Brian Dawkins is Barry Sanders when it comes to like my hierarchy of NFL or just sports players. So yeah, that would hit me hard. Pause. If it was Brian Dawkins, yeah, that one there, that'd be bad for me. That would be bad.
Yeah, no, I just want to get your guys' perspective on that. But, that was this week's segment for GNT Sports Talk as far as generating a new topic and something that's out of the in the sports realm, but out of the norm, that be on mainstream and stuff like that. So I just wanted to bring that up. But, yeah, man, thank you guys.
No problem. Hey, Mr. Bay, just in case, where can we all find you on your
Y'all can
socials?
find me on Instagram and TikTok under The Surgeon, or you can just type my name, Salim Ellis Bay. I'm pretty sure the spelling will be in the chat somewhere. So if you type my name, Instagram, TikTok, Google, YouTube, anywhere, you can find me on social.
Awesome. And the next fight is in Canada, I believe. Your dad mentioned
Canada, yes sir.
that's
September
the next fight.
27th.
And that which day? I know he
September
said it was
27th.
27. We wasn't sure if it was
Yeah.
26 or 27 because that's actually on
No, it's
Larry's
27th.
birthday.
Yeah, so that's my birthday, so I'm guaranteeing a W for you. So that's that's no bad thing
I'm
that ever
bringing
happened.
back that one for sure.
So I'm calling that thing into existence right now. That's a W. And when you come back, I just want an autograph. Let's say like on my birthday, you got a W, and that's all I need. That'll be a good birthday
problem. I'm flattered. I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back
I
for
know
sure.
you will.
For sure,
I know you
for
will.
sure.
Once again, we appreciate you so much for your time, man. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you
Man,
guys.
you're definitely one of us now, so we definitely appreciate you, bro. Seriously.
Nice talking to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
pleasure.
likewise, brother.
Pleasure.
Good luck
Give
in
All
September,
right,
man.
man.
give love to Pops too, man. Seriously.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
My man, be easy.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, have a good one, man.
brother.
The man.
Yo, man, that's crazy. I can't believe he was just on the show, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Man. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. He's if he's not considered a star now, because in our eyes in Philadelphia he's a star, but he's going to be. He's definitely the next, especially in the city. Man, it's phenomenal interview, and I'm glad he gave us the chance to get a chance to talk to him.
I was about
I'm
to say,
just
and I was about to say
surprised.
that I'm glad he was on this show too. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's a star in our eyes in Philadelphia, man. But when he hit mainstream, he knocking cats out, and ESPN promoting him, and he's on pay-per-view. Y'all gonna know what show he was on, baby. GNT Sports Talk.
Facts, man. And listen, man, I had the pleasure of setting everything up, with the team and stuff like that, and talking first and foremost. Let me go back a little bit, man. Shout out to my guy Ron. Listen, man, we locked in forever. You already know what it is, but he's the one that got everything in motion. He touched base with his man's Mill. Mill came through and, they set the contact up. And, look, man, that's what I talk about a lot when it comes to this podcast. And these guys that are on this podcast with me is more than just coming on here talking about sports. We building something with a sturdy foundation, and we going to be locked in forever with this podcast thing. And listen, like these guys that are showing us love is just on the strength too. They know like our hard work and dedication and what we got, behind this and all that stuff. And it means the world to me just to, reach out to a few guys that we know. And it just literally just developed right away. They're like, yo, look, if it's coming from this person, that person is a go. Like, but that's the reputation we have. That's the reputation that we have as far as, maintaining good relationships, networking, and doing what we do. And look, man, I'm super, super excited about this episode.
Absolutely. So, hey, speaking of something that was exciting, that was that pause moment, Tone. I saw your face. Just in case.
What? I ain't say nothing. No.
Okay, just
Damn,
in case.
you feeling guilty, bro? What's going on?
With you, Tone, you never know, bro. So I gotta make sure I stay on my toes. make sure I'm bobbing and weaving, literally. Make sure I'm bobbing and weaving. Make sure that I'm good. You know what I mean? All right. So I just want to hear y'all guys personally when this moment happened. What was your reaction?
Introducing you to Johan Duran's entrance into a ballpark. Get your phones out.
Atención, chimoso. El que quiera perder su tiempo que me aconseje. Que estoy en robo pero feo. Y hoy hay que darme banda. Dame la boca que andamos en jangueo y como ruta. Que viva el teteo, el desacato. Vivete la vida y disfruta.
Before we get copyrighted for real, for the music, but obviously that was a monumental moment for me because having that man, first of all, get traded to the Phillies when he did, that was one. And then the way that they now have his entrance, yo, I want to go to a game now for sure. Have it be a close game just so I can see that live. But
yeah, definitely. For me, look, man, ever since that trade, and we got the most glaring need on the ball club was we needed a closer. Obviously they didn't get someone that with a bat or anything like that, but I mean that move, man, like I think is going to be the deciding factor of us how far we're going to go into Red October, due to the fact that it just instantly injects the juice inside of the freaking stadium. Everyone's fired up, and it's already like we're in Red October. So definitely a great move by the Phillies, grabbing him and bringing him here before the trade deadline, and like it's automatically paying dividends because of the fact that he's just a dominant closer and is generating excitement and all those type of things.
Yeah, man. For me, man, it gave Brad lights out Lidge, vibes, and it also gave me, like you said, Red October vibes, man. When I seen that joint, like it was like chills went through my body. I'm like, yo, is this bull coming in this Game 7 of the World Series? He about to close shop, and we about to be on Broad Street with it. Like it just sent chills through my body, man. And I was just like, damn, like all right, like you said, that was a glaring hole, in the squad. Got somebody who, could come in and secure a game for us, like not give it up at the end where now gotta go to the bats, we gotta worry about that part. But yeah, man, got a solidified closer now, man, that putting us right there, putting us right there over the hump, man. So it was definitely like I said, chills to my body, man. Loved it, and I can't wait till October.
Yo, his first game, He threw 4 pitches, maxed out 102 miles an hour, and he basically started the 9th and threw 4 pitches, game over. Like, yo, crazy, bro. Like, crazy. So, man, this like, we got ourselves a gym, and we've been, as Phillies fans, we've been kind of begging, like, yo, we need to get better pitching. And they did that when it comes to the starters. We're good when it comes to the starters. But that bench, man, our relievers are terrible right now. So now to have him actually come in and be lights out. Now, we did have a scare when he got smacked in the ankle. And I was like, of course. Like, just like Philadelphia, we get this superstar, and then he get knocked in the shin. And he's gone. But thank goodness it was, it wasn't anything major. But besides the scare, it was like, we actually got who we needed. And I mean, and now the bats is now opening up. Now we have games where, they putting up 11 runs, 12 runs. Low scores now is like they putting up 6 runs. So they're actually now swinging the bat well, and now they have good pitching. Everything we wanted.
Right. No, definitely going in the right direction and stuff like that. But I mean, at the trade deadline, like I get people that wanted to add a bat to the lineup, but at the same time is like, you got the starting lineup that we got, and the players that were already under contract. Like, I just feel like they just need to play better.
Yes.
Like, I mean, like everybody, like, on a major league team, even World Series teams and champions like that. I mean, obviously, with the exception of the LA Dodgers, because they literally just bought that one. But, typically like that 8th, 7th, 8th hitter, 9th hitter, since we got the implementation of, having a designated hitter now, those guys are typically like, you know what I mean? Like the ones that, every team has them is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And DeGlareney was definitely that closer, and we got the closer. So now it's just time for these guys to lock in. Hopefully, that excitement, that juice that he just brought to the team is infectious to the other players, and they just start, I mean, look, Turner was on fire now. You got everyone's coming through. You know what I mean? The same thing with JT last night. I mean, it's just a lot of guys that, just need to perform at this moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, that's our show. It's time to shut this thing down. What a great episode that we had. We want to thank every single one of y'all for tuning in. Thank you for just being there with us as we go ahead and just highlight the incredible talent and just the great boxer himself, Mr. Bay. We definitely appreciate him and him spending time with us. I mean, literally, he went right from the gym, like punching the speed bag or the power.
The heavy bag.
He was in the heavy bag. Forgive me. He was in the heavy bag and went and grabbed the phone and started talking to us. So we definitely appreciate him and his time. We appreciate all of y'all for tuning in and being there with us. But it's that time to shut them down. Bird Gang, what you got to say, bro?
Hey, listen, man. First and foremost, thank you, Mr. Bay, for setting everything up, along with Mill, my guy Ron, and obviously Salim, blessing the panel, blessing GNT Sportstalk, blessing our followers with his presence, talking about what he got going on and stuff like that. And, man, blown away as far as, like, talking to that young man and all the things he got going on with the nonprofit organization, his hard work, his ethic, and just his mentality. You just see the difference, and that's why, you just could tell he's just different. So, look, until next week, Bird Gang checking out. You already know what it is.
Yo, man. I just want to say, man, I thank everybody who was involved in getting that young man, on this show, GNT Sportstalk. He's wise beyond his years, man. You could just hear it in, his answers. Killed that interview, with us. I don't know if he does interviews and he just knows how to be articulate with his words, man. But that young man has a bright future, man. And like you said, the organization that he's involved with, man, great thing. again, for the city of Philadelphia, man. We need more people out there like that. So just shouts out to everyone, man, everyone who was involved, for getting Mr. Salim, the Surgeon Bay, on our show, man. So salute to y'all, salute to you, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Ron, everybody who you name, man, for getting that guy on the show and having them, like you said, bless the GNT Sports Talk, family, blessing us, you know what I'm saying, content for our page, man, the relationship that, we're going to just keep, and that bond will never be broken, man. So shouts out to his camp, and shouts out to you, Joe, for getting him on the show, man. So, and then, hey, man, we are just 2 weeks away, man. We are just 2 weeks away from the 100th episode of GNT Sports Talk, man, and we are hosting a watch party at Dimension Sports Bar, man. I know y'all seen this posted, man. We got the promo bid, running for that, man. So 2 weeks, we trying to have 100 folks show up in support of GNT Sports Talk, man. Y'all love us, man. Y'all like what we do, man. Come out, support, man, and just, come out, watch the game, man. It's the opening night of the season. What two teams wouldn't you want to, see, square up? The first game of the season, the very first game of the season, is going to be the only game that night as well, too. So, come out, like I said, have a good time with us at Dimensions Sports Bar, man, so we can give shouts out to them, for allowing us to do this again for year 2. So we do thank you for that, man. And of course, man, the name's on the screen. Y'all know what I do. It's on the promoter, baby. Laugh the pain away. Had a great all-white show last Friday. Thank y'all for all who came out, man, especially First Lady. Popping out, supporting and just partying with the kids, man. So just thank y'all for that. Show was successful. Tickets is on sale for our next show, which is September 18th, man. So pop out for that one as well. Like I said, tickets on sale. Follow me right now on Instagram at On the Promoter. Ticket link is in my bio. Come out, free wine, 3 dope comedians, 3 poets. It's lit, man. My man Ken Jones, next up from Philly, and who promoting him? Your guy, so pop out, man. Laugh the pain away. Every third Friday of the month. Come laugh with me, y'all. Free wine as well, too. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of GNT Sports Talk. Let's get it.
Yeah, we appreciate every single one of y'all. Hey, look, as Tone said, 100th episode, we need 100 of y'all to be there with us so we can go ahead and actually knock down the walls of Dimensions. Let's make the place bigger because we want to knock down walls. Let's do some demolition. Did I do something wrong? Oh,
Nah,
pause. Tone, man, you... All right, I'm done. All right.
Yo, all right. Never mind. Go ahead, man.
I can't. Show's over. We love every single one of y'all. Peace. Oh. This is what y'all going to get at Dimensions, by the way. Take it easy.